Welcome back. This is episode 40 something, 48 of our Let's Play series in Space Engineer Survival. I didn't actually get anything done between last episode and this episode, between work and everything. So I'm still sitting here exactly where we left off. But what I am going to do is well, first of all, I'm going to offload this uranium that I'm holding in my pockets. And that should get sucked into the refinery, I think. Something's happening with my sound. See if I can work that out real quick here. Doesn't appear so. Alright, well, we'll just go ahead and record this episode silently then, I guess. Anyway, what we are going to do today is use some of these steel plates that are already on the welder to expand our uranium drilling station. If my game will stop lagging. Should turn that rotor off. Sorry about that. It's an alarm. It's a very effective one. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to expand the number of drills, first of all. Oh, the lag. Yeah, I definitely need to restart some things before next episode. I'll be sure to do that. So we'll put another drill on that side. And another drill on this side. And now when all that is running, that should be sufficient to actually drill out a space that we can use to drill sideways. Although we might have to expand this further with more pistons so that we can actually drill through to the bottom of that uranium deposit. The other thing that I want to do is attach a connector here so that we can dock up the welder to it or some other ship to it and use it to transfer cargo rather than needing to do that manually. Is there anything else that I want to do? No, that'll work. So now I'm going to go back. Have a seat. And we will do some production, large blocks of a connector and 2 drills. Then we will remote access the welder control of it. Access the camera and fly it back. Because we want to offload the uranium that is sitting in our inventory, for one. And I want to make sure I didn't, yeah, okay, I didn't damage the connector there that I placed. Offload the uranium sitting in our inventory, and also load up the parts for the connector and the 2 new drills. And then once that connector is created, we will actually dock the welder to it so that we can use the antenna on the welder to restart the drilling. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my sound, but hopefully restarting things will fix it before the next episode. But I am not sure I was going to have time to record this later, so I'm getting it done now, so this episode's not late like yesterday's was. I'm not sure how many of my subscribers actually care about that. I have very few subscribers already as it is, and pretty much nobody, from what I can tell, is watching these as they come out on the premieres or whatever. I'm not so much complaining or anything, just noticing that I'm holding myself to a higher standard than y'all apparently do. Switch cameras, pitch up, and move down a little bit faster. Alright, things are backwards again. It might even make sense to put a remote control on here facing the other direction, just because this is kind of difficult. I am forever going the wrong way. Oh, my connector's turned off. There we go. Go ahead and lock it. Put us into recharge mode. Gyros and engines off. Spotlight off. Even though we're going to turn it all right back on, I want to see if we can get this battery charged up a little bit more than we have been. Alright, welder, battery. Oh, it's already fully recharged. Awesome. Okay, so inventory, assembler. No, not me personally. Alright, well, first of all, we move this. Yeah, the uranium's not getting pulled out there. I might have turned off the conveyors. That's fine. Do it manually. Not a big deal. Back to the welder. And then the assembler. And then move all these bits. We don't need the metal grids. And we can't transfer the ones that are sitting in our inventory because we're sitting on a couch right now and there's no conveyor connection there. But that's fine. Okay, we're good. So gyro back on, engines back on, spotlight back on, connector off. Now when I lost control because I wasn't accessing it correctly. Why did I lose it? Oh, I forgot to switch the battery over. So it's up there, dead in the water. Oops. Yeah, as soon as I disconnected the connector, it died. Battery, auto. There we go. Come back in, have feet. Now we can access the welder. Am I lagging or is it not responding to me? I was just lagging. Okay. Get some distance from the port. Flip around. And head back to where we need to go, which is up here. Go ahead and turn our dampeners on to get stopped. Got me into futz with exactly which direction we're moving. Gauge the welder. And there is our connector. Back off some. Head down here and get the drills. Alright, so now if we swing around here, turn our dampeners back off, get some distance up here. Ooh. too much. Switch cameras. And get lined up with this connector here. Wrong way. Backwards. Turn our welder's connector back on. Bang really hard into the connector. And lock it. I am not going to move into recharge mode because we're just running off of a battery here. Now we'll access the welder's terminal, select the rest of our drills and the drill group so that they're all part of it. Turn them all on, turn the rotor back on, and the piston is already on. We just need to put it moving in the right direction, but not too fast. Yeah, this is filling up the connector so far. I guess that's fine. It's filling up the main connector, not the welder's connector. Speaking of which, and I don't need to show all these drills on the terminal. So I switch this over and go to the welder's large cargo container. I can move all this stuff in here. And now I don't have to be there to collect it and bring it back. I think it would be a fairly tall order to get this thing to be completely automated, although that would be cool. We might look into doing that. Would make sense if we're going to do that, not to use the welder though, but to build a specialized cargo drone. I'm pretty sure I can't put this in here. Oh, I can't put that in there. So the welder itself is just an extra cargo container, really. Because you can't weld stuff, using uranium ore. That's not a thing, but apparently you can squeeze things in there anyway. That's kind of cool. So now we're tracking the piston until it gets all the way to the bottom. And then we'll need to reverse it back up. Those 3 steel plates are left over in there because we used one when we actually placed everything. The connector and the 2 drills. Now our 3 drills in the middle are not really picking up a whole lot here. Most of the drilling is being done by 4 and 5. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 are doing pretty much nothing because that's already been drilled out. But we have to do this because we can't mess too much with the hole until we get it full size. Like we can't go deeper with the 3 middle drills if the 2 outer drills are obstructed. Kind of flip side to that is that they're not competing for ore with any other drills because they're far enough apart that there's nothing else drilling out what they're drilling out. See how our piston's coming along? 6 meters out of 10. I think we will eventually have at least a piston 2 because it does not look like we are going to get all the way down through the uranium just on 1. Unless we manage to pick up some stone along the way here. Seven and a half, 3/4 of the way done, almost. Now we don't have an antenna on US1, so we're using the antenna on the welder to connect all this stuff right now, since we're still sitting comfortably on the couch in the Space Industrial Complex. Eight meters. The connector is basically as far out as the drills will push what it picks up, so that's why it's all collecting in there. There's nothing set to pull it out of the connector. We're kind of dual purposing the welding drone at this point. If this was a legit cargo transport, I'd probably put a programmable block to pull this stuff out and put it in the transport's cargo hold instead of leaving it on the station's connector. It looks like we're getting towards the bottom. We just picked up a little bit of ore in drill 2 and drill 3. Yep, we're almost down. There's 10. All right, so now we need to reverse the piston back up. And we can go up faster than we went down because we don't have to worry about rocks being in the way. And we'll pick up a little extra on the way up. Not nearly as much, but a little bit. Still got plenty of space in the welder. Quarter of the way up. We were able to attach solar panels, by the way, to our ice station because it was out on the surface. This is buried in a cave, so solar panels won't help us down here. Alright, so our piston's now fully retracted. We'll grab the last little bit of ore out of here, and we will shut everything down. The piston, the advanced rotor, and the drills can all be turned off. And then we will shut off the connector, switch to the front camera, pull away, and roll over towards the exit. And fly out into an inbound meteor storm, as you do. That looked like a pretty near miss. Point our nose up and switch cameras. Start operating backwards. Slow it down. Get our connector back on. Back in slowly. And I'm actually going to turn down the power on this thing. So maybe we won't bang into stuff as hard. That's what she said. That was much nicer. Alright, so lock, gyros off, engines off, spotlight off, recharge on. Just gotta remember to turn it back off when we take off again. Exit the camera, exit the remote. And get to the transferring of the inventory. So we're chewing through the uranium here. And we won't have enough space to fit everything, but that's one of those good problems. Stick the rest of our uranium ore right there. Move that there. So the uranium should get pulled in. Well, there's no other ore, so the uranium will definitely get pulled in first. Actually, no, it's not going to get pulled in at all because the refineries have their conveyor system turned off. But that's fine. I think I'm going to leave that like that because it gives me a little bit more control over what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. I just wanted to make sure that I did get an episode out today, even if it's a slightly shorter one and we don't do a whole lot other than make some improvements to the uranium station. Next episode, we might do some coding, actually, because it occurs to me that we probably want to get some inventory management running on the Space Industrial Complex. Plus, we haven't really done inventory management yet, and I think that will be useful and interesting and something that people might be interested in seeing. So we might do that, or we might continue working on the uranium station, or I might actually finish the fighter. I'm not going to make any promises on that front. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Subscribe to see what happens next. Likes, comments, and verbal abuse are welcome, and we'll see you next time. Bye.